So you're thinking about making a move to Clairemont? Well, you're probably going to want to know some of the things to do. What are the schools like? What are the commutes looking like to other areas around it? And what's it look like to buy a home in Clairemont? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to go over with you guys. And we're actually going to do a couple things. We'll actually hop into my computer and I'll walk you around the Google Maps, just show you some of the sights and sounds and things you should know about if you're considering living there. And then we'll talk a little bit about the census data, some of the demographic stats, and then we'll move on to the real estate just to give you guys a better idea on what it costs and what it takes to actually buy a home here. So let's go ahead and get after it now. Welcome back. If this is your first time here and you'd like to know more about San Diego real estate or life here in San Diego, make sure you tap that subscribe button below. My name is Nick and you guys are reaching out all the time and we absolutely love helping you guys out. So if you're thinking about making a move in or around San Diego, make sure to shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help save you a lot of time and help you make a smooth move here to Clairemont or somewhere else in San Diego. Now, as I mentioned, this video is going to be all about Clairemont, and I just want to give you guys a more realistic breakdown on what it's actually like to call Clairemont home, because it has a ton of different neighborhoods, and maybe you've heard of some of them. You have Bayho, you have Bay Park. These are some more highly sought after areas, or I should say neighborhoods within Clairemont. So we're gonna do a couple things like I said, and I'll show you guys around. And if you guys haven't seen my vlog on Clairemont, make sure you check that out, because I actually take you around and show you some of these neighborhoods up close and personal, and I walk you through a few different price points and give you guys a few tips on the area. So make sure you check that one out. It's gonna be very helpful. But let's go ahead and hop into my computer so I can show you around. So before we dive into some of the real estate stuff and some of the demographic data and all that stuff, I wanna show you some of the things to do, some of the stuff you're really gonna wanna know if you live in Clairemont. Now, right here, you can see I already have it pulled up, and the beauty of Clairemont is the location. I mean, I'm used to showing you guys a lot of North County, San Diego, and it's very spread out. It's depending on where you're at. But down here in San Diego, there's just so many things around you, which makes it the best part. You're never gonna get bored, and you're always gonna have new activities to go and do. You have La Jolla, which is gonna be a 5-10 minute drive. You have Pacific Beach right here, which is right outside. You have Mission Bay down here, which is, I mean, they have a really cool coffee shop right down here, right at the bottom of Clairemont Mesa. You're going to have a ton of trails to walk on and just some fun stuff during the summer, or even when it's not the summer, just to walk around and check some of the sights and sounds out. So location is on point over here. Just north, you have University City, where you're going to have the UTC Mall, which is always a good time. Some really good restaurants in there. But anyways, that's just what's around you. We haven't even moved into Clairemont yet, and that's another part. If you have to commute a lot or you like traveling around, this is a 52 right here. Interstate 52, you're going to have the 5 right here. You're going to have the 8, and you're going to have the 805. So you're surrounded by freeways, which is beautiful. And if you have to go downtown, maybe you have to go down there for work, or maybe you have to commute to the airport, fly out every now and then, maybe once a quarter, maybe a couple times a month. Boom, it's a straight shot. You hop on the 5, you're going to be there in about less than 10 minutes. Same with downtown San Diego. Now let's go ahead and dive into Clairemont, and it can actually be broken down into about 4 to 5 different neighborhoods. So it's not populating right here, but this is going to be Bayho, is going to be this northwest part. The south is going to be Bay Park. And then over here, you're going to just have Clairemont, North Clairemont, and then Clairemont East is going to be this zone over here. So they all have their own special, unique things about it. Make sure you check out my vlog if you haven't already on Clairemont, because I go around, I show you some properties, I show you what these neighborhoods look like up close and personal, and I give you some good tips on if you're trying to buy something. So make sure you check that one out. And of course, reach out if you need help. That's what we're here for. But you can see each of these neighborhoods have their own shopping center. So you're only going to be about 5 minutes from a shopping center no matter where you live. You have a huge one right over here where you're going to have some fast food options, some restaurants, grocery stores. Same with this one over here. And then you're going to have one down in Bay Park as well. Also, outdoor activities over here, you have an endless amount. Tecolote Canyon right here, you're going to have some trails throughout Tecolote Canyon. Some homes actually have some really gorgeous views looking out the back. Those are really more sought after neighborhoods. So anything with a canyon view is going to be a little bit more of a premium. And you also have a really fun golf course right over here. Tecolote should be right in here. You're going to have a nice Tecolote Canyon golf course. So you have a really fun par 3. That's going to be most of your outdoors just within. But like I said, Mission Bay is right here, La Jolla, University City. So all these places have their own unique things about it. So here's the shopping center over in Bay Park right here, and also a lot of parks within these neighborhoods. So when you're walking around, you're going to see different parks. You're going to have a good amount of schools too. You have a few elementary schools to choose from throughout. You're going to have about 2 high schools, and I mean, everything's close, which is great, especially if you have a family and you don't want to have to worry about driving and long commutes to schools. Schools are rated a B+, as you guys will see in a little bit, but you have a high school, Madison High School up here, and Clairemont High School a little bit more to the west over here. And one other thing I don't want to forget with you guys is going to be this area right here. So Convoy Street, this is considered Kearny Mesa now. It's right on the border of Clairemont. This is where you have some of the best Asian foods in all of San Diego. I mean, I live up in Oceanside, but I take this drive very often with friends, my girlfriend, just to get some different foods. So you can see they have a ton of different Korean barbecues. They have sushi, they have ramen. Let me zoom in here because you really can't go wrong with any of these places. They're very, very family-oriented spots, and you have probably my favorites right here, the Dumpling Inn. This place is really, really good. Look at that. They got 2,500 reviews now, man. And then next door, you actually have a revolving sushi bar. So it comes around on this little conveyor belt, and you kind of grab it off there. And it's some good fresh sushi, believe it or not. And they also have a ton of karaoke rooms here. So if you like to rent a room for a birthday or go have fun with friends, make sure you check out some of these karaoke rooms. But let's go ahead and hop on to some of these other stats with the demographics. Now we're going to dive into some of the stats and some of the demographics just to give you a better idea, especially if you're going to call Clairemont home. This is going to be some important info for you guys. So right here, it has an overall grade of about an A-, and it's ranked number 34 for best neighborhoods to live in San Diego. Looks like the school's got a B+, families B+, crime C+, housing got a D-, a D+, and that's because everywhere in San Diego is for housing is going to be about a D, and that's because of the affordability. Now, nightlife got an A+, which I completely agree with. Diversity is going to be an A. So that's the thing with nightlife down here in Clairemont. Whether you're young or you're young at heart, you're going to love it. You're going to have things to do. Now, let's go ahead and dive into some of the demographics. Population is about 86,000, so a little bit more than 80,000. So a lot of people are always asking me if whether they're young, they don't want to be around a bunch of older people, or maybe someone retired is moving here and they're like, hey, I don't want to be where there's a lot of noise and parties and nightlife. So right here, you can kind of see everyone from about 45 and older. We have about close to 40% of the population in Clairemont is going to be about 45 and older. And then everybody, let's see, from 25 up to about 45, you have a good little over 30% of the population. So it's pretty diverse when it comes to age over here, which is great to see. Median household income is going to be about $100,000 a year, that's well above the average here in San Diego. The average right now should be around $90,000. So it's a little bit higher. You can see some of the household income brackets right here. So it's good to see those higher incomes in a certain area. And then I find this always interesting, these community polls. So 50% of people that live here say, be sure to explore the beauty scenery. Yes, definitely. You have Mission Bay right there. You're not far from Balboa Park. You have Tecolote Canyon. You have some beautiful outdoor activities. And then 30% said lots of good Asian food nearby. That's going to be all at Convoy Street. So we know that. And that's going to wrap it up for some of the demographics. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the real estate. So if you're making a move here to Clairemont, I'm sure you're probably considering buying a home. So it's going to be very important that you know just what's happening in the real estate market here in Clairemont, because every city is completely different here, especially in San Diego. So you kind of need to know what you're getting into with demand and all that stuff. So Clairemont, hands down, is a very sought after area, and especially certain neighborhoods within. So once again, check out that vlog on Clairemont if you haven't seen it yet, because I break that down into way further detail when I'm showing you some of these houses. But right here you can see currently all of Clairemont, there's only about 73 homes for sale. So that's very, very low for a population over there, about 80,000 people, 73 homes to choose from. That's not very good. So prices are steadily appreciating over here, and only got about 32 pending at the moment. But I want to go through this too, because the median sales price in Clairemont is going to be about $900,000. Now, you can see when I'm scrolling through here, you'll see homes for $2+ million, and you'll see condos for about $500,000. So that's kind of the beauty, but it's really going to depend on the neighborhood. So let's kind of scroll through here. You can see you can get single family home here for about $1 million. You can usually get a detached home for about $900,000, maybe $800,000 in a good condition. But most of these are looking really clean, really renovated. You have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo right here for about $600,000. So that's looking like a pretty good deal. It looks pretty turnkey. 1.2 for 2,200 square feet. I'll just kind of scroll through here so you guys can see it. But you're going to have a lot of this in Clairemont as well. You're going to have a lot of homes that have never been updated at all, that were built in the 60s and 70s. Most homes were built in the 60s and 70s. So keep that in mind. And some haven't been renovated, while others, especially a lot up here, a lot of them have been renovated, which is good to see. But you'll see a lot of those time capsules and things that need to be fixed. You'll have a lot of homes just like this on canyons with some really good views. So those are definitely really sought after. You can see this one for about 1.4, 1,100 square feet. So price per square foot's at $1,200 now, and that's because of that view. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys right here what you can expect with prices over there. Bay Park, Bay Ho, those are going to be a little bit more expensive, a little bit nicer of an area, while North Clairemont, Central Clairemont is going to be a little bit different. Some of the neighbors are going to be eyesores, and the homes aren't going to be very good looking on the outside, while the neighbor looks completely renovated and there's some great curb appeal. So just keep that stuff in mind when you're looking. But that's pretty much going to wrap up the whole segment on this. And guys, if you ever have a question on Clairemont or any other area, reach out to myself and my team. Our info is in the description below. And I really hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one.